Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you for tuning in to the Cowboy Corner Show. I am the Cowboy, and I am in the corner as always. We are here tonight, taking it easy. I thank you that you have decided to, spend your evening with us and tune in and do your thing, click your buttons, swipe your screen, whatever it takes to get here. Thank you so much for getting here. We've got a lot to cover tonight. And, we're going to get to it. We've got some issues that we need to discuss, some things that we need to take care of. Like, Tiger Woods, bless his heart. The guy is a great golfer. I think that everyone that is watching, everyone that has ever watched golf and knows anything about golf in the past, 30 years would agree that Tiger Woods is the GOAT. Like, he's the greatest golfer of all time. I don't think that there's really any question about that. And, he can handle a golf ball like nobody's business. But when it comes to just getting behind the wheel of a motor vehicle, he loses his mind. I don't understand it. I can't like put the two things together, but we're going to go over that story. It just broke last night or yesterday afternoon. So this is all just kind of like fresh breaking news that everybody's still just trying to consume and gather the information and figure out exactly what went on. But it's pretty interesting, and we're going to cover that. So we've got other things to cover too, but that's kind of the main thing of this broadcast tonight. So once again, thanks for joining. And as always, here's what you got to do. Look up there on the screen, join the chat on YouTube. That's the best way to take part in the show because nobody rides for free around here. If you're going to watch the show, you're going to have to, tag in, slap hands, and let's go. Let's get rocking and rolling. I'm here by myself tonight. Well, I say that. Conrad's in here, but nobody else. There's no producers, nobody. We had a great show last week. Really enjoyed it. We had a lot of people here. I think we had like 5 people in the studio last week that were all just kind of trying to make this thing work. And I don't know if it worked or not, but we had a good time. And it's just kind of ironic that we went from that to now here we are, just me trying to fly this ship solo, but I'm going to make it happen. I've always got my backup here.
He did a big turd.
Turd Boy's always in the house. If I need somebody to come in clutch and just help me out with some commentary, I've always got him to lean on. And then this guy.
Dirty, okay, but it works.
Yeah, I really don't know what purpose he serves, but I just like him, so he's here, and it's my show. And then, as always, we're gonna have our memes of the week. We're gonna have the Purple Girl. I'm just gonna go ahead and warn you in advance. Like, I've gotten complaints on the Purple Girl. I've been getting some complaints from more than one person on the Purple Girl, and I don't know why nobody likes the Purple Girl. Like, she has a great personality. She's really fun, and she's part of the show. Like, we're going to have her on the show every week. So here's the deal. If you don't like the Purple Girl, you can mute it during that. That's fine. And I've been told by one of my loyal viewers that they just mute the Purple Girl. But here's the thing. She's already calling your bluff because she's got everything closed captioned. So even if you're muting it, like, you're still going to have to deal with it. So anyway, we're going to have an appearance from the Purple Girl, among other things. Thanks to Roger McDuff for singing us in like he always does. Jesus is coming soon, as he says. And so we're preparing you for that. So if you stay till the end of the show, we will have the mandatory altar call, and you can get saved if you haven't done that yet, because nobody wants to watch a full episode of Cowboy Corner and then not like have some Jesus at the end to cleanse your palate or whatever that does. Anyway, let's just go ahead and get rolling here. So we've got the Cowboy Corner Chicken Industries update. As everyone knows, we've got chickens on the Cowboy Corner, and every week we're giving you an update because as we go through this experience, you're going with us. So here's the chickens this week. And as you can see, we've got an added piece to their little coop here because they're getting big. And I'm going to show you why. So I had to put this chicken wire over the top of their coop because as big as they're getting, and as you can see, they're getting all feathered out. They are also beginning to flap their wings and fly a little bit. And then they're also getting curious. So they're big enough now to see to the top of the coop there. And as you can see, this little girl, one of our little lavender chicks, has decided that she can jump up on top of their water container and is now peeking over the top and trying to escape. So that's what I've had to do is cover that in chicken wire to keep them contained. Now we're also going to be moving them outside. I just haven't done that yet because we had this random weird cold streak that hit yesterday, and the temperature dropped about 50 degrees from what it was like earlier in the week. So they're still inside for right now, but they've definitely outgrown. They're definitely starting to make a mess now, and they're stinking up my my shop area where I have them. They're just making it smell like chickens, and I keep cleaning. Like, I'm not just letting them run wild. I'm cleaning and scooping and shoveling and doing all of those things, but it's not working. So they're moving outside probably tomorrow. I got some materials today to kind of make their outside pen a little more inept to keep the predators out and whatnot. So we're going to install that. Probably get the chickens out there tomorrow, but we'll have that update for you next week. Now, just so you know, this is not one of our chickens.
Cockerel, one of 500 birds that are being judged today at the show.
Yeah, I don't have a black Australorp chicken. Now, we do have some Jersey Giants, and they're black, and they're the biggest chickens that apparently, like, they're almost the size of a turkey. They're like the biggest chicken in creation from what I'm told. I do have 2 of those. Ironically, like right now, they're still the smallest chickens, but what I've been told is that they grow slowly. They're not going to grow as fast as the other ones, but they grow for longer. So within like a year, they're going to be huge. So hopefully they don't have an attitude like that one where they just like fly off the handle and scream or whatever that guy just did. But just thought I'd share that with you. And then also I've got an update on the Cowboy Corner goat industry, because as you know, we've got goats also. So here we go. We're making big progress on the goats. Just kidding. That's not us. We do not have that many goats. We're not going to get that many goats. I could not deal with that kind of noise. Here's our actual goats. So they have graduated to getting on top of their little housing unit. So I built a little pallet for them to climb up there. And so now this is what they do. They climb up there, and then they butt each other's heads, and then they jump down, and then they butt heads some more. And then they run around and they act like goats, which is cool because I'm glad they're starting to act like goats. They climb back up there and they play. You know, they're really cool. We really like them. Their names are Lucy and Ethel. They're both females. Obviously, Ethel is the redhead. I'm sorry, Lucy is the redhead because of I Love Lucy. And if you're too young to know what I Love Lucy is, then that's a you problem. So, but we're having a lot of fun with the goats, and they're turning into goats. Like when we first got them, all they would really do is like hide in the corner. Like they were really insecure and afraid. And now they're coming out of their shell, as you can see. So that's the update on all of the Cowboy Corner animal industry. And so you may not care about that, but you know, I'm sharing everything that's going on with you because we do have some people that are interested in that. So, also breaking news here, and I just lost my screen monitor, so hopefully we're still working over here. This is breaking news that I wanted to share because this is just like one of those stories that you read and you're not really sure if it's true. Like it's very odd, but this is a true story. This really did happen. A quadruple amputee, professional cornhole player. You read that right. A quadruple amputee, professional cornhole player. This guy was arrested for murder. And the way that he murdered, you know, allegedly, we're not making any accusations here, but allegedly he was arrested for murder by shooting someone. Now, how does that work if you don't have hands? How do you pull a trigger on a gun and shoot someone? That's what I don't know. But here's the story.
Say the least. But before we get any further into this story, I just want to try to answer the question that so many people have right now. How did someone with no arms, no hands, manage to fire a gun and allegedly kill someone?
It's early in the investigation, but there is no evidence at this point to suggest anybody else was involved in the shooting, and that he acted alone on this.
watch closely, you're looking at the man accused of murder in this case. Video from his TikTok page titled No Hands, No Feet, Shooting 9mm Handgun. His name is Dayton James Weber, a 27-year-old quadriplegic amputee and professional cornhole player. This all started around 10.
I mean, you can't make this up. Like, how, first of all, how does he play cornhole? And second of all, like, how does he? You saw him, and he's shooting a gun on his TikTok there. But like, how is? I don't know. That's one of those things. Like, if this wasn't, and I looked it up, so it's a legitimate news story, but I find it like very weird and very hard to understand how that's happening. But the story is right here: a professional cornhole player who is a quadruple amputee has been arrested in connection with the fatal shooting. Dayton Weber, 27, is accused of killing a man in the front seat of his car during an argument on Sunday in his hometown of Maryland, around 30 miles south of Washington, D.C., according to the sheriff's office. So, the sheriff's office said in the press conference that the passenger in the back seat saw Weber shoot Bradrick Michael Wells, who is also a 27-year-old, before he pulled over, and then he had to ask them to help him pull the victim out of the car. So he was able to shoot the guy, but then he was trying to get him out of the car, and obviously with no limbs, he can't do that. So he's having to ask for help. At which point they refused and left. They said Weber fled with the victim still in the car, and all of the passengers knew each other. So he's kind of like, he had other dudes in the car, and then he shot the guy. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of hung himself out to dry here. I don't really know. The detectives found Weber's car 100 miles away in Charlottesville, Virginia. They got a warrant for his arrest. They were helped in their search by the blah, blah, blah. Weber was arrested at a local hospital where authorities said that he was seeking treatment for a medical issue. Yeah, he's definitely got some issues, whether they're medical or whatever they are. I don't know. But at 10 months old, so this is what I was wondering, like, how does this happen? So here's kind of the backstory. At 10 months old, Weber was diagnosed with a bacterial infection, and it says the name of it, but that's a lot of letters that I don't like. When you have so many consonants and no vowels, you're getting out of my territory of being able to read what you're saying. But it turned so aggressive that they thought he was going to die. They said he had a 3% chance of living, and the only way that they were able to save him was by basically cutting off the limbs that were infected to get the infection out of the system. And so that's how he became a quadruple amputee. But that did not stop him from pursuing sports, including football, baseball, and wrestling. And then he somehow, just became, I'm not going to bore you out with this story, but he ended up becoming a cornhole player because of all that. So, yeah, that, like I said, I didn't believe that was an actual story. But there you go. So there we have it. Quadruple amputee cornhole champion claims that it was a different quadruple amputee cornhole champion who shot that guy. Obviously, that is a satire story, but funny nonetheless. Now, this is how I say, like, this all you got to do to handle this situation. How do you handle a quadruple amputee professional cornhole player when they try to attack you? And hang on a second. We're in the... Apologize. I mean, it's pretty simple. You just... Yeah, I mean, that's all you really got to do. Like, he can't fight back, too much. And again, I'm not making fun of the guy, but like, he doesn't have any legs, any feet, any arms, or any hands. So you should definitely, if you do have those four limbs on your body, you should be able to apprehend someone who doesn't. Like that's pretty basic. So once again, I don't know how all of the actual shooting transpired, like how he was able to maneuver that and like without the other guy realizing what was going on and just like, knocking it out of his little nubs and then picking him up and throwing him out. I don't know. I wasn't there. That's what makes the story interesting, but there you go. So with that being said, that's all I've got to cover on that one. And we're going to go to the next one, which we're getting into the Tiger Woods story now. So here we go. I'm just going to roll this one and let you follow along.
Some breaking news. Golf legend Tiger Woods has been arrested for being involved in a car crash near his Florida home. It is his third crash in 20 years. Tiger was not injured and was alone in the car. The driver of the truck that was involved in the incident was also not injured. Officials say he has been arrested for driving under the influence with property damage and refusal to submit to a lawful test.
Okay, so like they said, this is like his third one in 20 years. Now, I know that he had an incident in 2009, I believe it was, where his wife at the time, like, I think she caught him cheating on her or something, and she ended up, I've got notified that we're having an echo on the video. I think I may have got that fixed. If not, I apologize. Like I said, I lost my monitor here, so I'm trying to make this work. But anyway, hopefully we don't have an echo anymore. But his wife at the time was like he was hammered or whatever. She beat his car with a golf club, and there was a big thing on that. And then later on in 2011, I think he got in a wreck at that point, and then he got in a wreck in 2017. He got in a wreck in 2026. So within the past, he's had several incidents. Let me just do this real quick. Can you give me a timeline of all of the car accidents and arrests in Tiger Woods' life within the last 20 years or so? Let's see. This usually doesn't take this long for my guy here. Well, this isn't working. I don't know. Maybe he'll start talking to me in a minute. Anyway, yeah, he's had several of these incidents, and that's what's weird is that, like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't correlate how he can drive a golf ball so well, but then you get him behind the wheel of a car, and he's very inept at driving, and I don't understand. He's rolled several vehicles. I know this is at least two. Like the one in 2017 was a rollover accident, and that's the one. No, I'm sorry, that was in 2021. It was a rollover accident, and that's the one where like he's still recovering from that. He had to have a couple of surgeries, and he's still having back issues. I know he had a broken leg, so he's having leg issues on healing, and he has muscle spasms and, achy joints and that kind of thing, which that's what's hindering his golfing. That's why he hasn't golfed as much in the past few years, because he's been recovering from that and he keeps having to have different treatments and stuff. And that's because of the previous wreck that he had in 2021. And now this wreck that he had yesterday, apparently he wasn't injured. No one was injured. Praise God. It was a crazy incident, and here's a story on that. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up to share it with you. So here we go.
Tiger Woods is in big trouble. He has been arrested yet again for DUI. This happened in Jupiter, Florida, Friday at about 2 o'clock Eastern Time. There was a pickup truck that was pulling into a driveway on a two-lane road, and the pickup truck driver looked in his rear view and saw this Range Rover roaring down the street, going really, really fast. Tiger Woods was behind the wheel of that Range Rover. The pickup truck driver tried pulling into the driveway, but the Range Rover was going so fast it clipped the pickup, and the Range Rover flipped over on its side, on the driver's side. Tiger actually got out the passenger side window, and law enforcement showed up quickly. They weren't far away, and it was apparent to cops that Tiger was impaired. He was showing obvious signs, according to the sheriff. So they did some field sobriety tests. At the time, Tiger said, look, I've had numerous surgeries, and I have medical problems from it. And That actually goes back to another incident in 2021 where Tiger also flipped his car and he almost lost his leg. But the sheriff says we took his medical issues into account, but he flunked the field sobriety test, so they arrested him. They took him to jail. And they determined he was not under the influence of alcohol. He had a 0.00 when it came to blood alcohol. So the sheriff believes this is medication. And they asked him to take a urine test, and he refused. So refusing is in itself a crime. So they have charged him both with DUI and with failure to take a urine test. By failing to take the urine test, he'll have his license suspended probably for a year. But more seriously is he could get jail time. And what is relevant here is that in 2017, Tiger got another DUI, a previous one, in the same area. And in that case, the authorities say he was under the influence of medication. So he has a previous DUI, and the judge in this case could take that into account in sentencing. It's not a mandatory sentence, but the judge could take it into account, and Tiger could actually get jail time as a result of this. And I referred back to that other incident in 2021 in Southern California, where he flipped his vehicle. In that case, the cops were criticized for not doing any kind of a field sobriety test. So Tiger was never charged in that case. But he is in trouble in this case. This is the second DUI. And it appears, at least according to law enforcement, both the result of taking medication and driving at a very high rate of speed. Now, the Masters is in 2 weeks. So given that this just happened, he wasn't injured, nor was the pickup driver. But it would seem unlikely that he would compete in the Masters given the backdrop of all of this. So again, Tiger Woods in jail at the time we're doing this. He has to spend at least 8 hours in jail before they're able to bail him out.
He's out of jail.
But Tiger is in trouble
this morning, but they did, like he said, hold him in jail for 8 hours. I guess that's a Florida state law. If you're arrested for being under the influence of anything, you have to basically go into the drunk tank for 8 hours. And also, like he said, Tiger was supposed to play the Masters. The Masters comes up in, I don't know if it's next week or week after. It's right around the 1st of April. And, he won the Masters in 2019, like the big resurrection of Tiger's career. And he won the Masters and all that. And he's set out a few, and then he was going to play again this year. And that's probably, all in the trash can by now too. So, I don't know, like he said, it's like he wasn't drunk, he wasn't drinking, but he's had these injuries. That he's on pain meds, possibly has been addicted to pain meds since he's taken them for so long. I mean, I know that they're highly addicting. So, Tiger has some issues. And the only thing that I could really think of is like, you're Tiger Woods, you've got enough resources that you just need to hire a driver. Like, just get a driver, like driving Miss Daisy. Just find you a Morgan Freeman guy, contact me. If the price is right, I'll drive you anywhere that you want to go. And I don't drink. I don't do any kind of mind altering, inhibiting drugs or any of that. So we're good. I've got a clean driving record. Just hit me up, Tiger, and we'll work something out. I can drive you around anywhere that you want to go. And then that way, whatever you're on, whatever you're doing, whatever issues that you have, like, you're free and clear, man. You just sit in the back and do your thing, and I'll get you there. So let's talk it out. Give me a call. But I just think that's what he needs to do. Like, obviously the driving thing isn't working for you. You can drive golf balls. You can go on the driving range. You could probably drive a golf cart at a slow rate of speed, but just like, stay off the road, man. Stay off the road, because it's obviously your record is telling you that it's not working out for you. And, thanks for sending me this. I finally got this timeline out. I'm going to have to read it a little bit, but May 29th, 2017, he was arrested in Jupiter, Florida. That's the same place that he was arrested yesterday, Jupiter, Florida. They said that he was asleep at the wheel of his car, stopped in the traffic lane with the engine running. He was arrested for DWI. That was in May of 2017. Then summer of 2017, he had investigation. The toxicology report, I'm assuming this is from the same incident. It revealed multiple drugs in his system, the painkillers, anti-anxiety meds, and THC. And then let's see, this was all from the 2017. But yeah, like that's kind of when it started. I think it all started back in 2009. I know that's whenever the incident with like him getting his car bashed in with the golf club from a crazy wife all happened, and things have just kind of continued, every few years from there. But here is this is his mugshot. This is from yesterday. So this is the current one. There's one from 2017 to 2026. I don't know why I decided to put both of those on there, other than, as you can see, he's pretty much in the same condition in both times. He's lost a little bit of his hairline there. He's kind of receded it on back. His eyes look a little they're more red yesterday, but more open. So I don't know if these were the same things or not. I mean, it's pretty similar, but just you can tell that there's about a 9-year difference there in age. So this was his car. This picture was taken on the scene, and that's Tiger right there behind that fire hydrant, looking pretty dapper. He's got him some I don't know what that is, some khaki shorts maybe, some white Nikes, and a turquoise looking polo there. Got some shades on him, and he looks pretty chill. He's obviously on the phone, like calling his lawyer up or somebody. Tiger Woods misses the fairway on his last drive, and it looks like he is in the rough. Absolutely, man. So that's how his car ended up. They said he had to climb up out of the passenger side window, because obviously you're not getting out. It would have been pretty cool if he would have just like opened the sunroof and then he could have came out that way. Like that would have been like a more dramatic exit of the vehicle. But I'm sure that it was also pretty cool watching him climb out of the passenger window. Obviously, there's no footage of that I know of. Whoever Tiger hired to detail his car does a spectacular job. I do want to say that this is the cleanest crash I've ever seen. And that, I mean, it is a very spotless looking vehicle from what I can tell. If you turn your head sideways and look at it, you get a better view. But it's like a matte black Range Rover, and it looks pretty glossy even though it's matte. So good job on whoever Tiger has doing his vehicle detailing. They need some advertisement because they do a great job. So as I said, he was released. This is the photo of Tiger being released from the jail this morning. He's sitting in the vehicle in the passenger seat. Good job, Tiger. Stay in the passenger seat. That's where you belong. Obviously, you can tell that he's contemplating life and in deep thought. And there's another shot of Tiger leaving in the passenger seat. And I just thought that looked really like I'm relatable with this, what's going on right here, because that's the same face that I used to make me as a kid passing McDonald's without stopping. Like I just wanted some chicken nuggets, and if I didn't get them, I was just kind of upset. So I totally relate with that. I see where you're going there, Tiger. Here's a reenactment. Okay, obviously this isn't Tiger, but this is a reenactment.
Hey guys, you can tee off, not gonna make it.
Yeah. All right, this is another reenactment of what happened yesterday.
I'm only going short.
Probably a little dramatic, but that you get the point. Like they said that he was trying to pass. It was like a pressure washer trailer. He tried to pass it at a high rate of speed, and obviously, like again, his driving technique is not that of NASCAR status, so he misjudged the distance. He clipped the back of the trailer with the front wheel of the car, and it just tossed him around a little bit. But however, Tiger Woods has been signed with NASCAR and will begin racing immediately. Here's Tiger Woods getting ready for a casual Friday drive.
Julian! Don't know where I felt like a...
Again, this is a reenactment.
Here, do you, bud?
The names and the faces have been changed to protect the innocent. All right, here's another reenactment. Tiger Woods, the floor.
Too many of those pills. Astronaut? Say it. Astronaut.
Jerry, I had a little mishap with the car. In Alligator Alley. You better get out.
The new game, they're already about to release it on PS5. The Tiger Woods DUI Tour 2026. And I believe there's another one, Tiger Woods 2K26 Ambient Racing. So what I heard on this one is it's going to be basically a car driving game, racing game, but everything's going to kind of be blurred, and the reaction time from the time that you actually turn the wheel on, or your controller, the joysticks, however you're playing it, like there's just going to be a delay in the reaction time, just to kind of simulate the ambient in the system. So these are all rumored. I don't have confirmation on any of these, but this is all the stuff that's being released. As I said, this just happened yesterday, so the news is still just breaking. Things are coming out as quickly as we can, and we're here to cover that for you on Cowboy Corner. All right, so we're moving on from Tiger. Next up, we've got the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship bracket. As you know, this tournament is still ongoing, and I told you last week I did my bracket, and I was the only one here on the show that did it. Now I am entered into some other pots or pools or whatever you call them with some other people, but nobody here on Cowboy Corner did it other than me. And I thought my bracket was trash, but honestly, I'm in first place in one of my pools. I've got, as of yesterday, I had 27 wins, and that was the most of anybody. The next closest was like 24. So I'm not doing as bad as I thought. So I retract my statement from last week saying that my bracket's trash. It's not trash. I did check on the ESPN Global tournament, and I'm like 1.9 million was my rank on that one. So in the grand scheme of the global brackets, yeah, I'm pretty much trash. But on my little pool, I'm winning. I may win like $50. So, you can't complain about that, honestly. So this is the bracket as of earlier. I think I just got a notification that, Illinois has beaten Iowa, because that game is going right now. So you can go ahead on that south upper one right there. You can go ahead and bring Iowa down. They're going to be the first team into the Final Four. So there's another game later, and then there's going to be 2 games tomorrow, and then the Final Four will be set. So that's all that I really got to cover on the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Not a lot of news there. It's kind of self-explanatory. The Final Four will start later on in the week, and then I think the championship game will be next week. So we will keep you updated on that as it progresses. That's about all I've got on that. Baseball opening day was this past week. I think opening day was Wednesday, and it was actually Wednesday night. They had one game, which was the Yankees and the San Francisco Giants, and then the main opening day, I guess, for the other teams started Thursday and Friday, and then today was like when all of the teams started playing. So today was like the official main opening day of the MLB. There's not really a lot to cover there either, because the season's just getting started. Like, there's no news other than the first game Thursday. I think it was Paul Skeens, who was the Cy Young winner for the National League. He plays for the Pirates, and he didn't even last one inning, y'all. They had to pull him out of the game before the first inning was over. They were playing the Mets in New York, and he gave up like 5 runs in the first inning, and so they just pulled him out. So that's kind of a drastic turn of events. Now, I wouldn't call that, we're not calling the season on the first game. They play 162 games. Obviously, the guy's got a long way to go, but he didn't have what you would call a hot start. Now, a couple of those runs were not his fault, because an outfielder missed a routine pop fly, and then another one got over the head of the outfielders because they were pulled in thinking that it was going to be a ground ball hitter, and he ended up hitting the pop fly over their head. So 2 of the runs weren't Paul Skeens' fault, but it's just kind of ironic that he's like a 2-time All-Star and the defending National League Cy Young winner, and he was pulled from the first inning. So I was going to get some video footage on that. I didn't. You can look it up yourself if you want to, if you care. But that's really the only news that I have on baseball opening day. But here's the big thing to cover as far as baseball goes is they're doing this 999 challenge. This is kind of the new hip thing for the 2026 season. There's a few of the baseball stadiums that are doing this. So what is the 999 challenge? Well, they want you to buy these boxes like we have pictured here on the screen. This one is from the Phillies. This is what, if you went to a Philadelphia Phillies game and asked for the 999 challenge, this is what you would get. It's 9 hot dogs and 9 beers. And they want you to have 1 per inning. So by the end of the game, you're going to have 9 hot dogs and 9 beers in 9 innings. That's your 999 challenge. So this is, I guess, just a way for the ballparks to make money. I don't think that anybody should be having 9 beers in a span of, what's a baseball game, 2.5 to 3 hours. I don't think that this is a good idea. And I'm not one to, tell anybody what they can and can't do. But I'm going to tell you that you probably should not take part in the 999 challenge. Now, maybe they'll substitute the 9 beers for 9 Dr. Peppers. 9 bottles of water. Maybe you could mix it up, have, 5 Dr. Peppers and 3 Pepsis and 1 bottle of water to wash it all down. Like, I don't know. I just think that by the time that you have 9 beers in a baseball game, you're going to be kind of in the Tiger Woods category if you're driving home. You're going to possibly end up in the same boat that he's in right now. And, I would not endorse that. If it were me. And I really am not thinking that this is going to last long, because I just have a feeling that some bad things are going to happen.
Something wrong.
Yeah, I just think that something is wrong with the teams that are doing this. And there's several of them. So I've actually got an article here that I can share with you guys that's going to show about this 999 challenge more in depth. So, Aramark Sports Entertainment, which they own a few of the, I don't know if they own, they have something to do with a few of the ballparks. So anything that's Aramark Sports, that's the ones that's doing the 999 challenge. They have partnered with competitive eating star Joey Chestnut. He's the guy that eats all the hot dogs on 4th of July. He can eat like 60 hot dogs in 10 minutes or whatever it is. But they teamed up with him to produce the 999 challenge, which features 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, and it will be sold at 6 different major league ballparks. So there's 6 teams that are doing this right now. It was first introduced at Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia, which that's the one that we were just looking at during the 2025 season. And now it's going to be available at these other stadiums to fans 21 and up with a valid ID, obviously. And so it's going to be Citi Field, Citizens Bank, Coors Field, that one's in Denver, Daikin Park, that's where the Astros play in Houston, Kauffman Stadium, and Oracle Park. So those are the ones that you're going to be able to get this 999 challenge at. And again, as I said, I'm not going to endorse that you do that because it just seems like a bad idea. But, go ahead and do whatever you want to do. If you want to do that now, like I said, I would try to see if they'd substitute that for some Dr. Peppers. I could definitely do a hot dog in inning. Like, I'm down for a hot dog in inning. If it's not loaded with all the nasty stuff, if it's just like, we got a bun and a Frank in there, I'm not going to say wiener. I'm going to say Frank, and throw some mustard on that bad boy. And now we're talking my language. I can do that. I'm not going to be able to do the 9 beers, but to each their own. If you want to do it, do it. So there's that. Here's a cool play that I wanted to share with you guys while we're on the baseball thing.
Webb, the 0-2, lined up the middle, hits Webb, hits the umpire, bounces to the second baseman, out onto first, double play.
Yeah, to see that? I bet you've never seen that happen before, because I don't think it ever has happened before in the history of baseball. Okay, watch what happens here.
Webb, the 0-2.
He hits the pitcher. It goes, bounces off the umpire, and then they throw a defensive double play. Now, obviously, this is in a minor league game. That's pretty cool. During a minor league game between the South Bend Cubs and the Dayton Dragons, an unusual defensive sequence resulted in what is often referred to. Now, I don't know how it's often referred to that if it's never happened before. But that's what this says. It's often referred to as a 1-U-6-3 double play. So the U would definitely stand for umpire. The umpire got involved in the play. With the runner on first, the batter hit a ball back up the middle that first deflected off the pitcher. So there's your one. Sharply changing direction before striking the umpire. There's the U, positioned on the infield. And because the ball had already touched a fielder, so it hit the pitcher first. So that made it a live ball. Now, if it would have hit directly to the umpire, it would have been just a dead ball, and it wouldn't have counted as anything. But it did hit the pitcher first, so it's a live ball. Because the ball had already touched a fielder, it remained live, allowing it to ricochet toward the shortstop. So there's your 6, who fielded it, stepped on second base for the force out, and completed the double play with a throw to first. So that's your 3. The play stands out due to its rarity and the rules that are involved. Under baseball rules, a ball hitting an umpire typically results in a dead ball. Like I just said, see, they listen to me and then they write the articles. That's how this works. But only if it has not first touched an infielder, in which this case it did. The deflection off the pitcher kept the play alive, turning what could have been a routine single into a double play. The sequence highlights how unpredictable deflections and rule nuances can combine to produce one of the most unconventional outcomes in the sport. So, yeah, we're going to watch that again because that's just pretty cool.
Webb, the 0-2, lined up the middle, hits Webb, hits
that ball has some force because by the time it hit the pitcher, it bounced off him like it was made of rubber. And it hit the umpire pretty hard, too, hard enough that it deflected off the umpire to the shortstop. So that's pretty crazy. Now this is a good one. This guy, I don't know who this guy is. He's at the Red Sox game, obviously, wearing the Red Sox jersey, and he's throwing out the first pitch.
All right, Jordan, fire it in there.
He's like, holy crap, what did I just do? Let's watch this again. Okay, now keep your eye on the guy in the upper right wearing the pink colored shirt, because he's a cameraman, y'all. He's not supposed to be involved in this play in any way, and he's very unsuspecting. But this pitch goes astray.
All right, Jordan, fire it in there.
Come on, Jordan. He had no warning. I mean, he's holding a camera. He's not expecting that ball to be coming anywhere near him, and it hits him just like right in the sweet spot.
Dirty. Okay, but it works.
One more time. Just
all right, Jordan, fire it in there.
Jordan is like, oh man, I'm in for it. This guy's a lot bigger than me. I mean, look at that face. You could tell. He's like, what just happened? And yeah, you're on national TV, bro. Like, you can't make up for that one. So, this is a cool guy. Oh, like, where did this guy come from? And I think this is college. And another question that I have is like, this is North Carolina State, because he's got the North Carolina State logo. They're playing like smooth jazz in the loudspeakers as the game's going on. Apparently, I mean, I'm hearing it. Sounds like it's coming through the PA system. So they're just listening to some smooth jazz. And then they've got a guy that's just totally like cartwheeling like Spider-Man. I mean, that kid's going places. I have no idea who that is. I didn't research this, so I don't know who that is. But I want him on my team. I want him to be drafted next year, first round Astros. There's your first round pick, because if he can do something like that in college, he's going places. Breaking news: Colorado Rockies are eliminated from postseason contention, and it's week 1. But we're just going to go ahead and announce it because they're pretty terrible, and the Pirates aren't looking much better. I don't have a Pirates logo. It's not been made official for them, but as of from what I saw Wednesday.
Yeah, he did a big turd.
So anyway, I think that's all that I've got to cover in our news. So we're basically going to be on to what everybody's come here to see, the memes of the week. Let's get it going. Oh, we're still on baseball though. All right, let's see what happens here. He didn't even touch the ball. Hopefully that's a foam bat. You can't do that. Oh, man. But that was a direct hit. Like, that was a home run right off the dome. That would have been at least off the top of the fence for a ground rule double off that kid's dome or off the melon, man. But yeah, if you see that right here, see, he comes in, he's stepping in, okay, but then he hesitates and backs up and steps again. Like that threw your whole aim off right there, kid. That's why you miss it. You're over the top of the ball, and then never stand behind. I mean, there's so much wrong with that, but we've watched it 3 times. We're gonna move on. Okay, here's some hoverboard incidents. That's some I know better recreation. Oh, check out the bars too. The doorbell ring. Wild card weekend NFL. That thing was stupid. Yeah, he's like, he got in a bind there. This one's a little more, no, it's getting there. It started slow. Look at Mom, she's up. That was up a big step right there. Oh, road rash. Yikes. When you get home from holding in a fart all day, I totally feel this. I hate it when this happens, but you come home and then you just, gotta let it out. Gotta let it out. Gotta let it out. 4 of them, at least 4. As soon as I got up this morning, I was in the bathroom, and Trisha, my wife, was in there also. And, I have early morning whiffers. Like, that's just a thing. And so she's in there and I'm in there, and I just had to let one rip because that's like, can't help it. If you're a guy, like you get up, you've got all of that kind of built up overnight. I had a kind of a late night last night because we had a jam session until like 11 o'clock ish. And then by the time that I left, I was pretty hungry. The only thing open at that time of night is either Wiener Schnitzel or Wendy's. And I drove by Wendy's. I was going to give them the first dibs, but they were very crowded. So then I went right down the street to Wiener Schnitzel, and they only had like one car. So I was like, here we go. Wiener Schnitzel time it is. So I had some Wiener Schnitzel at like midnight, y'all. Now I just got the regular dogs. I didn't get the chili, or else it would have been worse. But anyway, I said all that just to say, like, I had all that, going on. That happened at midnight. Then I slept. That was all marinating down in the intestines for the 7 or 8 hours, whatever it was that I slept. By the time I got up, like, I had to get some stuff out. But like, she's in there and we're just having a conversation. We're looking each other in the face, talking about our day, what we're going to do. And then I just kind of like, let it out. And she's just like, I can't believe you just did that. And like, you were literally, she told me, she's like, you were just looking at me and you just like acted like nothing even happened. And I can't help it. Like, that's just how that rolls. So it looked kind of like this. Now, I wasn't doing the arm things, but I probably did like do the little pelvic scooch right there, because that just helps everything come out. Everybody knows that. Like, I'm not saying anything that nobody's familiar with already. I'm just the one that is brave enough to actually talk about it. I'm saying what everybody wants to hear right now, not what you want to hear, but what you want to say, but nobody else will say it. So here you go. You get what you don't want to hear on the Cowboy Corner Show. This is a good one right here. This old man is getting it, boy. And the problem is, there's a dumpster there, Frank. Come on, man. When you got her up on 2 wheels, getting control, like, you gotta lean the other direction. You don't lean with the counterweight. Like, you gotta put it on the other side to cause the counterweight. I mean, come on, man. Basic quad riding 101. Here's a kid sniffing some helium. The only problem is, you got a little too much in there. And then, like, does this hand, I'm trying to figure out if the hand is trying to help him up, like grab him, but it kind of looks like they give him a shove and help him go down faster. And then, oh, yeah, see, that was like a flick. To me, that's a flick. Like, you're not helping the kid. You're trying to make it look like you are, but we busted you. He's going down either way. That's hilarious. Oh, here she is. Okay, I'm going to give everybody a couple of seconds here. Grab your remotes or do whatever you need to do because the Purple Girl's here. If you feel like you need to mute it, I'm going to go ahead and give you the chance here. This is about a 2-minute long one. However, as I said at the start of the video, she does have the captions going on, so, you know, you're still going to have to deal with it. Here we go.
And I'm going to see how much Papa I can find with my new Papa hair. Papa, my Papa, my Papa, my Papa.
Obviously, this one must have been recorded
my Papa.
a few weeks ago because this is mainly Valentine's stuff, so I don't know if she just waited a while to post this one or what. Because this is a recent posting. Obviously, that was Valentine's stuff that she's looking at there. Cocoa loops. That looks interesting. I'd definitely try some cocoa loops.
My Papa. Look at this. This is Papa. Oh my goodness. My Papa. My Papa. My Papa. And my Papa. 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 And my Papa. Look at the passaging. It is Papa. My Papa. My Papa. My Papa. My Papa. My Papa.
Still going.
Papa. OMG, I found myself again. Papa.
I've already had time to place a Sam's order. Order some pizza for after the show. And she's still going.
Look at all this Papa. And my Papa.
Thought she was done. She ain't done. Oh, she's done. She's done.
Is it dirty? Okay, but it works.
Okay, I don't know sign language, but if you had it muted, you can turn it back up now. We're good. Okay, she's done. All right, here we go. This is oh yeah, so this is a closed circuit security footage right here.
Mama.
She farted. She potentially was hanging out with Tiger before this happened. I don't know. We don't have video footage of like what transpired prior to this, but it's very possible that she was hanging out with Tiger.
Mama. Mama.
See, it's back to like this lady farted right out in the wide open. She's laughing. She farted. They just come out sometimes. Like you just have to deal with it. It's part of life, man. It's part of life. No judgment here. Don't judge me. I won't judge you. This is the hardest rapper in North Carolina.
Welcome to North Carolina where things are green and fine and we eat to diner. And I got a sister named Mary Hannah, one named Lois Anna for real. Got some over the hill, get ready, gonna be chill. Pay my bills, got my sister Jill. Probably steal my brother Will. Woo! No zone, gonna sit on the throne, sip like cologne. Like a zone, when it was wrong, catch me no phone. But I be singing my song. Tick-tock.
Yeah, not what you would suspect, right? Okay. Oh! Pull the groin. And the guy, he's standing there. He's clueless. Watch the guy here in the corner. He has no idea what goes on. I'm assuming that that's tile. and it's wet because she obviously has a bucket gathering. I don't know. She's putting the bucket under where the water's coming off the roof. I'm assuming roof, not roof. Okay, and then you've got the pulled groin or glute or whatever G muscle that is back there. She's thriving in pain, and we're laughing. This is great right here. I'm going to try this on somebody. I actually have all of the equipment needed to do this. Again, this is another fart video, so just prepare yourself. Wait for it. Here we go. That'll get you up right there. I'm going to try that on somebody, so just beware. Don't worry. It's just a small accident. I feel wrong laughing, but you shouldn't record stuff if you don't want us watching it. Okay, what is going on how old is this kid? 8, 7, 8? Like, what's going on in your life here, kid? What could you be going through that you have to puff on the candy cigarette while you're sitting here at the rodeo? He's got a sweet mullet. I mean, he's decked out. Like, I like the whole get up here. That's a really nice hat. Really nice shirt. I can't see what's going on below that, but I'm sure there's some nice jeans and boots involved. And he's got a really cool mullet. The problem is, like, he's dealing with some issues because he's really feeling this candy cigarette. Like, he looks like he's about 45. He's past due on his mortgage. He's possibly going through a divorce. Like, there's some things that are going on. Like, you can just see the intensity as he puffs on this candy cigarette. Goes out, shakes his head, takes another puff. We're praying for you, kid. I don't know what's going on, but man, you're really enjoying that candy cigarette. I hope it's a candy one. I mean, it's not actually smoking, so there's some hope there. But do they even make candy cigarettes anymore? I know they did when I was a kid, but I think they kind of quit making them. But you can probably still find one somewhere, or he may just roll up a paper. I don't know. It's hard to tell what it is, but I was gonna say puff it, shake the mullet, take another puff. Okay, enough of that. There's literally no way to know for sure how many chameleons are in your house. I mean, think about that, because you can't see them. So are they even there? How many are there? There's really no way to know. That just gives you something to think about. You're gonna lay awake for a little while tonight, and this is gonna cross your mind. I'm just telling you right now. You're gonna think about this later. I'm gonna be like this all summer. If you got a problem with it, that's on you. Just taking that in. He's got on the. I mean, obviously we're looking. Well, we're not looking, but you can't help but miss the like bright fuchsia. I don't want to call that a thong. It's, it's a full butt cover for a normal size butt. But anyway, there's that going on. But then if you go down to the bottom, he's got the dress shoes on. They look pretty nice, patent leather. Those may be a Gucci or a Louis. I don't know why he's wearing them at the pool. And then I guess he's got a phone in his hand. He's either taking a selfie. Looks like probably what he's doing is taking a selfie of that, or maybe recording somebody else. But anyway, like, that's gonna be fully me this year. I'm taking that in, and I'm gonna reenact it every time I go to the pool, which is not much, but I may go once or twice. So anyway, just be ready. I didn't think orthopedic shoes would help, but I stand corrected. Dad joke. I was today years old. What does that mean? Today years old. I was today years old. I guess that means like it just happened today. Why don't we just say it that way? It happened today when I found out that the middle row in a package of Oreos was actually for the salsa. And that is a great idea, because I've always just put my salsa in a separate bowl. But if you're going to house the entire package of Oreos, just put the salsa right down the middle. You're good to go. That's a great idea. I made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I've never gotten a fish fillet from McDonald's. I agree. I've never had one either. and I don't plan to. I mean, there's whatever's going on there. That's not fish. I'm just telling you right now, that's not fish. It's square. It's not fish. When you're usually a happy Afghan, but your girl broke up with you, so now you look at the bottom there, a sad Afghan. See, maybe that's the problem with the little cowboy kid that's smoking his cigarettes. Maybe he's going through a breakup. You know, we're praying for you, little guy. Imagine trying to explain to kids today that before smartphones and digital cameras, we had to go to a store and get our photos developed. Yeah, they don't make any of this stuff anymore. I mean, Kmart's not a thing anymore. You can't buy film. I think like places like Walgreens, they do still have like a photo center, but it's all different. Like it's all digital stuff. You're not taking film in there. They can't develop film. They can do digital camera stuff. They can give you a passport, but like, I mean, these are the good old days. Like you took pictures back then and you didn't even know what they were going to look like. Like now you can take a picture and it's like, oh, you know, that one didn't look right. My eyes were closed. The lighting was bad, whatever. And you redo it. You've got it right there. Like back in the day, man, you just risked it. Like you just said, I think that one was good, but you had no way of knowing. And then you had to take it to the store and have them develop it. You'd get it back like a couple days later. And then if that was a bad photo, you're just stuck with it. And that's why there's a lot of bad photos from back in the day. The Carlisle 522007 stackable 20-ounce cup is the best cup ever created. That's the ultimate truth. And if you don't agree with that, fight me. Like, that is the cup that's in any good Mexican food restaurant, Italian restaurant, burger joint, barbecue place. It doesn't matter where you go that has the best food. You're going to get your soda or your water or your tea. It's going to come in that cup right there. The Carlisle 522007. And you can buy them on Amazon. I've got some in the studio. And they're the amber colored ones. So they're kind of dark. That brings them like more vintage, like more 70s-ish. It fits the mood in here better. But yeah, that's the best cup ever created for sure. When they bring that nasty riff back, but slower, that's called stank face right there. So whenever it's called halftime, you know, you're grooving and then you hit that halftime beat and the drums are just coming in like they come in slower, pop, 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 and you make that stank face right there and you just start, you just, everything changes. Like the whole mood changes. You're making the stank face. Okay, nobody really understands. If you're not a musician, you don't know what I'm talking about. This kind of correlates with what I was talking about earlier. I didn't wake up in my sleep and fart, but obviously I have before. When you wake up to your own fart from a deep sleep. Yeah, you're very disoriented. Your hair's disheveled. You don't really know what's going on. It's funny because Trisha told me this morning also, this was post-fart conversation, but she told me that like we had a smoke detector that started beeping last night. Not because of smoke, but because the battery started going low and that it started beeping. I never even knew it. I guess she got up and fixed it herself. So let's give Trish an applause for getting a ladder out of the garage and pulling down a smoke detector and pulling the battery out so that it would quit beeping. And I never even knew that it happened. I still don't even know for sure that it happened because I have a very hard time believing that I slept through that. But allegedly I did. Again, I told you it was a late night last night. I had some Wiener Schnitzel. You know, I was digesting while sleeping. My body just may have been like in a full coma there for a little while. I'm not saying that she's a liar. She's not a liar, but I'm still having a hard time processing that a freaking smoke detector was going off in my house and I didn't even budge. And that she went to the garage, which is right outside of our bedroom door, got a ladder, came back in the same door, hauling a ladder. And I know she's not doing any of this quietly, right? And then takes it through the house to whichever one was going off and pulled it down, pulled the battery out, and I was totally like just oblivious to all of this. That's very strange, but allegedly that's what happened, allegedly. I wouldn't announce if I had won the lottery, but there would be signs. That is awesome. The only thing that needs that I'm not seeing is a bidet. Got to put a bidet on that, but like, is that even real? Because I don't care how much that cost, I want one. I'm going to put it right there in the Cowboy Corner bathroom. And it's just going to be glorious. But I would add a bidet to mine. I've told y'all that we have bidets here. And once you get a bidet, I'm telling you, you get a bidet and you're probably thinking the same thing that I thought, like that's ridiculous. Get a bidet. It will change your life. No cap. Health insurance is cool because you get to pay a bunch of money each month for nothing. And then if something happens to you, you just get to pay a bunch more. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot we could do here. I just say just believe God. You can have divine health. It's not unreachable, and it doesn't really cost you anything. So that's what I do. Chuck Norris Action Jeans. I didn't find this one last week. I would have thrown it in, obviously, but this was a real thing. Send in 1995. There was no online ordering, so you had to call in that 800 number or just fill out that little form down there and mail these in with 1995 and put your size and everything on there, whatever you need. And then you would get your Chuck Norris Action Jeans. And obviously, like the lady from a few previous videos that slipped on the tile and did the splits, she probably would have been much better off if she was wearing some Chuck Norris Action Jeans. She wasn't, but look, you're getting some full extension on those bad boys. And I'm sure they're not still available in 2026, but I'm going to call that number later and see. If anybody answers and I get some information, I'll let you know because I'm going to order some if I can. If you're in Oklahoma locally, obviously there's a number right there that you can dial a local number. But if you're not in Oklahoma, you've got to dial that 800 number, just FYI. And that appears to be all that we have for tonight. So I guess we're done. I never know until we just, we're done when we hit the last slide. So I guess we're done. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I hope that you stayed with us. I hope that you enjoyed everything. I hope that the audio echo wasn't too bad. I heard that there's an echo. I don't know. I can't hear it from my end, so hopefully it wasn't too bad, and you were able to go ahead and just hang in there. I appreciate everyone who did watch and who is still with us. Thank you for spending your evening with us, and I appreciate it. I thank you so much. As I said at the beginning, and as we've been ending every show recently, whoa, did you hear that? Every show recently, Jesus is coming back soon, y'all. And so sorry, I had something pop up there, but that's not actually up. So yeah, we're having some weird stuff happen. Anyway, Jesus is coming back soon, y'all. And I don't want you to miss the trip. Like, he's coming because there's crazy stuff going on. We don't know how much longer this is going to be, but I can guarantee you it's going to be sooner than later. And you don't want to miss that trip out when he comes. Like, he's coming. He's going to take the people that have confessed him, as the Bible says. You believe in your heart, you confess with your mouth. And then when he comes, he's going to be like on this awesome, like a white horse. And I don't know if he's going to be on the white horse the first time he comes, or if that's going to be like the Battle of Armageddon. But either way, like, there's white horses involved, like a whole bunch of cool stuff. There's going to be like fire and swords and like all this cool stuff. And you probably, like, I'm just going to tell you that you just want to be there. You don't want to be left here, because if you think it's crazy now, it's going to get real crazy later. I have a friend, and he always used to say, it's going to be real crazy. Now, he wasn't talking about the return of Jesus when he would say that. He was talking about like parties and things like that. But that was like his catchphrase. He was like, yeah, you need to be there. It's going to be real crazy. And now, ironically, like, he's the mayor of the town that I grew up in. So that's pretty cool. I hope that he has that town running real crazy. And I mean crazy good. But anyway, with all that being said, so here's the deal. If you have not received Jesus as your Lord and Savior, if you have not believed in your heart and confessed with your mouth, like the Bible says in Romans, then you want to do that. And I'm going to help you do it, because that's why I'm here, to bring you sporting news, to bring you memes of the week, and to get you saved. So if you haven't done that, all you got to do, it's really simple. You just say this after me. You just say, Heavenly Father, thank you that you sent Jesus to this earth to live a perfect and a sinless life and die for my sins on the cross. Thank you that he redeemed me from my sin. And since I believe on him, now I am saved. I am redeemed, and I am going to go to heaven, which is the most important decision that you've ever made. So if you said that prayer for the first time, then please let me know, because I want to celebrate that with you, because that's a big deal, y'all. And you're going to be on that trip out of here whenever he does come, which is going to be pretty soon. So if you said that, like I said, just let me know, because I want to celebrate that with you. Otherwise, contact the show. If you have material, people send me material throughout the week, which I really do appreciate, because it helps add content to the show. You can do that. So for sending the material, the best way to do that is direct message on Instagram. You can send it to me, message it to me on Instagram, and then I'll put it on the show if it's worthy. And most stuff is, because if you think it's funny, chances are I think it's funny, and I'm going to put it on the show. So I appreciate the people that do that. Keep continuing to do that as we go, because we'll have a show again next week. Once again, I am the Cowboy, and I am in the corner. I appreciate you tuning in and joining me this evening for the show. Now I will let you go enjoy the rest of your evening. I know that there is a Sweet 16 basketball game on right now, so you need to watch that, or you could probably still catch the 450 main event of Supercross, or you can just go to sleep, or go to an MLB game and have 9 beers and 9 hot dogs and 9 innings. I would suggest you not do that, but you can. You can do whatever you want. Anyway, you're free to go. I appreciate you watching, and we're going to see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.